she's game for it. Nice day of endurance here. With that, we'll now recognize the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Fitzgerald, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'm the last member, I guess. So. When Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were taken into conservatorship in 2008, Treasury received warrants that give it the right to buy common stock in each of the GSEs equal to 80% of the total outstanding shares. And those warrants expire on September 7th of 2028. In August of 2020, the Congressional Budget Office issued a report that estimated Treasury could receive the $190 billion for its senior preferred shares in addition to $110 billion from exercising its warrants in the GSEs. FHFA Director Thompson said in hearing last May that the two of you have not discussed these warrants. The conservatorship has gone on, I think you could agree for probably too long now, and I'm concerned that the conservatorship of the GSEs and the warrants could be used to further politicize the entities. Have you or your staff given any consideration to the monetization of Treasury's warrants in the GSEs?
This is not a matter that I'm up to speed on. I'm not knowledgeable about this. I have a staff that spends a great deal of time thinking about it, but I've not had a discussion with them about this. I would appreciate it if I could get back to you on this matter.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you. Secretary Yellen, last May you said this might be an environment in which we're going to see more mergers, and you know that's something I think the regulators will be open to if it occurs. But I think, as a member of the committee, the perception out there is that regulators review kind of the proposed bank deals at a slow pace. And there is also a relatively high degree of uncertainty about the outcomes, both of which have kind of this chilling effect that we've had reported right here in the committee. So given the regional banks are subject to constant on-site supervision, we've heard from the bankers about this numerous times, can you think of any reason why it should take the Federal Reserve more than the statutory prescribed 90 days to decide if a merger is appropriate under the Bank Holding Company Act?
So I could just say, based on my own experience in the Fed, that often issues are raised in connection with the community performance of banks that need to be investigated, and these investigations can involve a lot of back and forth and be time-consuming. And so I shared your frustration that it often took a good deal of time, but sometimes there are difficult issues that need work to respond to before a proposal can be presented to, in the Fed's case, the board.
Very good, thank you. Saudi Arabia pricing their barrels of oil in dollars has played a large role in the U.S. dollar building and maintaining its status as the global reserve currency. The Saudi Minister of Finance stated that they are open to trading oil in currencies other than dollars and has held talks with China. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, not asking you that question. Combined with the de-dollarization efforts by adversaries like China, Iran, Russia to evade sanctions, the potential weakening of the dollar as a global reserve currency is concerning. What are some of the actions Congress can take to maintain the dominance of the dollar and ensure we can maintain effective sanctions?
Well, the dollar is valued as an asset because of the deep and liquid Treasury market that we have, the strength of the U.S. economy, and the strength of our currency, and the fact that we keep inflation under control, and it's a good investment. We have rule of law. We have open capital markets, and protecting these fundamental assets that give rise to the strength of the dollar is critical to its role. But the important role of the dollar also enables us to levy sanctions against countries that act against our interest. And by depriving them of access to the dollar financial system, we can really exercise some control over their behavior. And it should be understood to be natural that when we use sanctions, that those who are sanctioned are incented to try to figure out workarounds. I've not seen anything that I believe poses a deep threat to the dollar, but those incentives exist, and our ability to sanction countries' activities that threaten our national security, I think, is very important.
Thank you.
Gentleman's time's
Yield back.
expired.